We talked a lot of Cowboys earlier in the week with Michael Irvin in here,
Yeah.
guest hosting. I want to get your take on some of this stuff. But first, we had Jerry Jones on, and he talked about potentially paying Dak Prescott the big-time quarterback money.
We're sold on Dak, and we do want to have him for the long term. We think he's worthy of investing in for the long term. We love the way that he, I'm going to use the word logically, progresses through a game. For you see when he's got to come from behind, when he kind of turns it loose a little bit. You see him make those plays. All of those things embolden me to make a deal with him that puts him here with the Cowboys for the long term.
Yeah, and the Cowboys have begun contract negotiations with Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. This is Stephen Jones said this yesterday. Do you think, so we've been having this debate kind of on and on, do you think Dak Prescott worth $30 million per season?
Yeah. It's not about is he worth it. To me, it's about what does he mean to that team. He keeps you stable at that position, your quarterback. So is he worth $30 million in the landscape of the NFL? Maybe not. But to the Dallas Cowboys, he's worth $30 million because he keeps that position stable. You're not worrying about having to draft Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray. You've already got that chip. You've already got that piece. The one thing that I'm looking at, though, is there's three guys that need to get paid big dollars. We mentioned Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott. Those are three guys who need to get paid. But the two guys who are free agents at the end of this year are Dak and Amari. If I don't get the number that I want, and if I'm their agents, we want to get the top dollar for our players because we also want to reset the market. What if both of those guys decide to reject their offers and force the Cowboys' hand into having to franchise one? Because you franchise one, you can't franchise the other. You put Amari Cooper on the market right now, he's getting top dollar as a playmaker. You put Dak Prescott on the market right now. How many teams in the NFL right now would not pay him would pay him $30 million to say, we've got our position locked up? We don't have to worry about next year's draft class. We've got a proven winner. We put a run game around him, a couple playmakers, a good defense. That team went to the playoffs 2 of his first 3 years. That's what the Cowboys are right now in for. I know people may not want to hear that, but you got to play hardball a little bit because teams do it. Now players need to as well.
All right, a couple of things off of this. How many teams do you think would be in the market for Dak Prescott?
Wow. Going into next season, I would say, wow. It really, the way this thing has to play out, you got a couple teams. Could the Oakland Raiders be one of those teams if Derek Carr doesn't play well? You look at a team like the Detroit Lions. Maybe they move off of Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? Like, think about
Cincinnati.
So you've got a quarterback and still in its infancy stages in the National Football League that after this year, I've got a proven commodity with a ton of upside. I don't think Dak Prescott has reached his full potential yet. I think he's going to have a new offensive coordinator this year. I think that's going to be able to bring out more of his skill set. There may be teams in the market for Dak Prescott as a free agent. I don't have to give up draft compensation to get him, and I keep my draft picks. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a market for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Stephen Jones said that he's focusing most of their energy now on getting extensions for Dak and Amari Cooper. Would like to extend Zeke at some point. Who do you think is more important to Cowboys' future success between those three guys?
Dak Prescott, quarterback, always. And I know people are going to say, well, look at Zeke.
Zeke's been pretty great.
Zeke's been great. He's been awesome. He's been amazing. But the one thing I can tell you is that sometimes the running backs, I'm sorry, they grow on trees. And Zeke has been great. But you look at the replacement of running backs every single year. I know Pittsburgh didn't go to the playoffs last year, but James Conner was amazing. And they went out and drafted another guy, Benny Snell. They're going to have backs in Pittsburgh. I think the same thing in Dallas. If they needed to go out and draft another back, you can find a back, especially if you're still using that offensive line that you've invested a lot of money in. Travis Frederickson coming back as well. So you've got pieces, but the quarterback piece, why do you think the draft is so big every single year? The NFL draft is big every single year because of one reason, the quarterbacks. Right? People were, this draft was just whatever. Yeah, because after Kyler Murray went down, people would start hearing all these defensive players they never even heard of.
Yeah, I mean, look, somebody we've never heard of or seen play. Daniel Jones was the 6th overall pick.
Come on, man. That's what this league, the NFL, is built on, the quarterback position. So when you have one, and you really feel good about your situation, you wrap your arms around that quarterback because you're saying, okay, we're happy with where we're at. Now we just got to put the pieces around. It makes everything a lot better.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.